Earth was ordered to surrender by the Galactic Council. Humans said no, calmly. The sky was calm over Earth, but something unusual hung in the air. Across the world, people noticed strange flashes in the sky and unexplained signals on satellites. At first, it seemed like a natural phenomenon, but soon the truth became clear. A massive fleet of ships, larger than any human imagination, appeared at the edge of the solar system. They moved silently, almost like shadows, but the sheer size made them impossible to ignore. Governments and space agencies scrambled to confirm the reports. In Washington, Captain Daniel Moore stood at the command center of Earth's space defense. He was tall, with dark hair and sharp eyes, and his presence was calm even in the face of chaos. Around him, monitors displayed the alien ships and communications coming through unknown frequencies. Lieutenant Amy Lewis worked beside him, her fingers moving quickly over the console as she tried to decode the messages. Amy had a quick mind and a calm voice, which made her a perfect translator and communicator. "Captain, they're sending a message," Amy said. The alien words and symbols shifted across her screen, forming a pattern that seemed almost musical. "I think I can translate it, but it's complex." Daniel nodded, leaning forward. "Do it. Let's know what we're dealing with." Amy adjusted her headset and spoke slowly, translating the message for everyone in the room. "This is a formal communication from the Galactic Council. Earth must surrender its defenses and submit to our authority immediately, or face total destruction." The room fell silent. The words were clear and final. Yet, despite the threat, Daniel remained calm. He straightened and looked around at his team. "We need to respond, but we will do it wisely. Fear is useless. We cannot let panic control us." Dr. Kevin Harris, a scientist in charge of Earth's defense technology, stepped forward. He was a man in his 40s with glasses sliding down his nose, always thinking about the impossible. "Captain, our shields are stronger than they were last year. Our drones are ready for deployment, and our stealth ships can maneuver around the fleet without detection. We have the tools to protect ourselves." Daniel considered this. "Good. Prepare all systems, but hold fire for now. This is a message. We respond first with words." Meanwhile, Mayor Olivia Grant coordinated civilian responses. She was a calm and firm leader, respected by people around the world. "We need to keep the population calm," she said. "Panic will hurt us more than any alien fleet. Encourage them to continue daily life, but prepare quietly for defense. Everyone must know we are not weak, but we are not reckless either." Across the planet, humans watched the skies. From small towns to large cities, people felt both fear and pride. Children pointed to the shining ships, and scientists examined every signal. Governments shared information globally. And for the first time in history, humanity faced a challenge that united the world in a single purpose. In the command center, Daniel gathered his closest officers. Amy Lewis, Dr. Kevin Harris, and two others, Sarah Miller and Liam Carter, joined him. Sarah was the tactical officer, known for her quick thinking in combat situations. Liam, a navigator, could guide any ship through the most dangerous of obstacles. Together, they formed a small but capable leadership team. Daniel spoke to them quietly but firmly. "The Council wants us to surrender. They think we cannot resist. But humans are more than weapons. We survive, we adapt, and we learn. We will not surrender. We will respond calmly and clearly. I can send a message back, something respectful, something that shows we understand their power, but also that we have our own strength." "Do it," Daniel said. "But make it careful. We do not insult, but we do not yield." Amy worked quickly, translating humans' intentions into the alien symbols and sounds. The message was brief but clear. Earth acknowledges the Council's power, but humans will not surrender. They seek dialogue, not destruction. Hours passed as the message traveled through space. Daniel and his team watched the alien fleet closely. At first, there was no reply. Then, slowly, the Council responded, repeating their demand. Earth must surrender. Failure would bring destruction. Dr. Harris frowned. They are testing us. They want to see if we panic. If we falter, they strike. But our technology is ready. We just need to remain calm and clever. Daniel agreed. We will not panic. We will act with patience and reason. That is our advantage. They may be stronger, but they do not understand humans fully. We do not fear the unknown. We adapt to it. Outside, satellites and observation stations reported strange energy readings. Daniel studied them carefully. They are watching us closely. Every movement we make is recorded, but we have seen their patterns. We can plan around them. Sarah Miller joined him, pointing at one of the tactical maps. Captain, if we position our ships in these sectors, we can protect the most important cities without giving away our full strength. They will not know our limits. Daniel nodded, impressed. Good. Prepare the fleet. Let's show them humans are serious, but not reckless. Calmness is our weapon now. Meanwhile, on the streets, people went about their daily lives, guided by Mayor Olivia Grant's messages. She encouraged schools to continue, businesses to remain open, and families to care for each other. Quietly, civilians volunteered for preparations, building shelters, helping scientists, or simply keeping order. Kevin Harris oversaw the deployment of drones and shields. He worked with engineers around the world to enhance Earth's defense systems. We cannot win by raw force, he explained. We win by thinking ahead, by being patient, by using every advantage we have. If we panic, we fail. If we stay calm, we survive and even thrive. Days passed, and the alien fleet remained near the edge of the solar system. Daniel's team continued their preparations while sending respectful messages back and forth. Amy carefully translated every reply, noticing small changes in tone. The Council's language became less threatening, but they were still firm. Earth was expected to surrender. Daniel, standing in the observation room, looked at the stars. They think humans are weak, he said softly. But humans have something they cannot understand. We do not just follow orders. We think, we create, we endure. Calm is our strength. Sarah Miller leaned beside him. And courage. They see power as weapons, but we have courage, patience, and intelligence. That makes us dangerous in ways they cannot predict. Liam Carter added, we are ready for anything. And we will not strike first. We wait for the right moment, and we act with precision. Meanwhile, scientists across the world worked tirelessly. Cities became centers of knowledge and cooperation. Engineers, programmers, and physicists collaborated with military leaders to ensure Earth's readiness. Even simple civilians contributed in small ways, monitoring signals, maintaining communications, or volunteering in shelters. In one quiet moment, Amy Lewis sat at her console, staring at the translation patterns. Captain, she said, I think they are starting to doubt their plan. They expected fear, not calm. That is unusual for them. Humans do not panic, even when faced with impossible odds. That is our nature. We do not show fear. We adapt, we learn. We survive, and when necessary, we fight with every tool we have. But first, we remain calm. Days turned into a week. The Council sent small probes testing Earth's defenses. Every test was met with careful calculation. never rash action. Drones intercepted probes, shields absorbed energy attacks, and humans learned more about the alien technology with every encounter. Kevin Harris studied the data. Every movement, every probe, every signal, they reveal patterns. We are learning. They underestimate us. And that is our advantage. Sarah Miller nodded. They think strength is weapons. They think speed is power. But we have strategy, patience, and intelligence. And they cannot predict that fully. Even the civilians felt the change. At first there was fear, but soon pride and quiet determination replaced it. Children learned about space defense in school. Families discussed strategies at home. The world became united not by panic, but by calm readiness. Finally, after a tense week, the council sent a new message. Amy translated carefully. They wanted to see Earth's leaders in person. A meeting would take place in a neutral space station, far from the planet, to discuss surrender and control. Daniel Moore looked around at his team. This is our moment. We go not with fear, but with calm confidence. They want to see us. We will show them. Humans are not easily intimidated. We will speak, we will reason, and we will survive. Amy nodded, her voice steady. We are ready. Calm, clear, and confident. Kevin Harris adjusted his glasses and prepared. We have every advantage we can create. Let them see humans' courage and ingenuity firsthand. Sarah Miller and Liam Carter both checked their systems. We move as a team. Every step calculated. No panic, no mistakes. Daniel looked out at Earth from the command center, thinking of the millions of people who depended on him and the team. We are ready. Earth is ready. The universe may test us, but humans face challenges with calm and determination. That is our strength. That is what they cannot break. And so, humanity prepared for its first direct contact with the Galactic Council. Calm, steady, and united, humans faced a power far beyond their world. Fear was present, but it did not rule them. Instead, calm intelligence and quiet courage guided every action, every decision, every thought. The stars beyond Earth's atmosphere seemed brighter now, not because of alien ships, but because humans had found their resolve. The message was clear. Earth would not surrender. Humans would meet the galaxy with respect, intelligence, and calm defiance. Even as the alien fleet hovered at the solar system's edge, humans prepared. Not with panic, not with hasty weapons, but with careful minds, teamwork, and courage. The story of Earth's calm resistance had begun, and it would echo across the stars. The starship Horizon moved silently through space. It was sleek and designed for speed and defense, built by humans to explore and protect Earth. Inside, Captain Daniel Moore stood at the command deck, looking out at the endless stars. The alien fleet waited near the edge of the solar system, but the humans were not afraid. Calmly, they prepared for their first direct meeting with the Galactic Council. Lieutenant Amy Lewis sat beside him, monitoring communications. Her fingers moved quickly over the console, translating messages as they came in. "Captain, the Council has acknowledged our journey," she said. "They are expecting us at a neutral station. No attacks yet. They want to see us in person." Daniel nodded. "Good. That means we have their attention, and attention is the first step to understanding. Keep monitoring everything, every signal, every energy fluctuation. They tell us more than words." Kevin Harris, the scientist, adjusted his glasses and studied the star charts. This station is far from Earth, in unclaimed space. It is large enough for their fleet and ours, but neutral enough that they cannot attack immediately. It gives us time to prepare for every scenario. Sarah Miller, the tactical officer, tapped on the map. "I've calculated possible approaches. We can maneuver through the asteroid fields to avoid detection until the last moment. It will give us some control over the first impressions." Liam Carter, the navigator, smiled slightly. "I like that plan. Nothing impresses visitors more than calm control and careful preparation. We don't rush. We move with certainty." As the horizon approached the station, the alien fleet became visible. Massive ships floated silently, their shapes unlike anything humans had ever seen. Some glowed with strange energy, others shimmered like liquid metal. Yet Daniel felt no fear. He only felt focus. Humans had faced challenges before. This was only another one, larger and stranger, but still manageable. When the Horizon docked at the neutral station, a message from the Council arrived. Amy translated carefully. "Earth representatives, we welcome you. Enter our chamber. Your response to our order will be observed closely." Daniel gathered the team in the main room. "This is our moment. Speak carefully. Act calmly. We do not show fear. We do not act aggressively. We show confidence, intelligence, and respect." The humans moved through the station, following paths that glowed faintly under their feet. The walls shimmered with alien patterns. Everything about the station was designed to impress and intimidate. Yet the humans walked steadily, unshaken by the strangeness. Finally, they entered the council chamber. It was immense, taller than any building on Earth. Alien beings moved gracefully across the space, their forms shifting and glowing. At the center, the council leaders floated in a semicircle. Their shapes were strange. Some had multiple limbs, some had translucent skin that glowed faintly, and others seemed to change shape constantly. One, larger than the rest, floated slightly above the others. It was Zurich, the council leader. Zurich's voice resonated directly in the humans' minds. "Earth representatives, you arrive. We have ordered your surrender." "Why do you defy us?" Daniel Moore stepped forward calmly. "We acknowledge your power and your authority in this galaxy." "Why?" "We respect your experience and your reach, but we do not surrender. Earth belongs to its people. We will not give up our freedom, and we will not submit to orders that remove it." Amy Lewis translated every word carefully, making sure nothing was lost in the alien language. Kevin Harris, Sarah Miller, and Liam Carter stood behind Daniel, their posture firm but calm. Zyrak's many eyes glowed. "You are small. You are weak. You have no fleet capable of facing the Council. Your defiance is meaningless. Do you not fear destruction?" "We respect the consequences of our choices. Fear is natural, but it does not control us. Humans do not act from fear alone. We act with reason, with creativity, and with courage. That is our strength. You may have power, but humans have resilience, and resilience cannot be measured in energy or size." A murmur went through the council. Many had expected the humans to beg, to surrender, to show terror. Instead, they saw calm, thoughtful courage. The council had underestimated humans. Amy spoke again, translating Daniel's words carefully. "We seek dialogue, not conflict, but we will not surrender. We wish to understand, and we hope you wish the same. Let us find a path that respects both your authority and our freedom." Evan Harris stepped forward slightly. "We are not naive. We know our technology is limited compared to yours, but humans have creativity. We can adapt to new situations quickly. We can solve problems that seem impossible. That is why we cannot surrender. We survive because we think, because we work together, and because we face challenges calmly." One of the council members, a being with long, translucent arms, leaned forward. "Your words are unusual. Most species we encounter either submit or fight without thinking. You speak of calm reasoning. You speak of patience. That is not weakness. That is different. Daniel nodded. It is our way. We do not show strength by force alone. Strength comes from courage, unity, and intelligence. That is the way humans have survived for millennia. That is why Earth cannot surrender. Zyrak floated silently, observing the humans. Finally, it spoke. Your defiance is unexpected. You do not fear us. You do not act recklessly. Your calm, it is almost a weapon in itself. We will study your words, but understand this. The Council will not tolerate foolishness. Daniel replied steadily. We understand, but our choice is clear. We will not surrender. We hope you will see the value in dialogue, not conflict. We are ready to speak, to learn, and to find a solution that does not require destruction. The chamber fell silent. The council members whispered among themselves, their thoughts blending into a strange chorus. They had underestimated humans. They had expected fear and submission. Instead, they found calm intelligence and quiet courage. Sarah Miller spoke quietly to Daniel. Captain, they are surprised. They did not expect this. That is an advantage we can use. Daniel nodded. Yes, but we must remain calm. This is only the first meeting. They will test us further. Every word, every action must show patience and wisdom. We do not provoke, but we do not surrender. Amy translated as they prepared to leave the chamber. The council did not offer threats, but their presence was imposing. The humans moved back to the horizon, calm and collected, knowing their message had been heard. Once aboard the ship, Kevin Harris studied the data they had collected. We have learned much. Their technology, their communications, even their thinking patterns. We can anticipate some of their moves. But we must remain careful. They are powerful, but they are not infallible. Sarah Miller leaned back in her chair. We have one advantage they do not understand. We are patient. We are adaptable. And we are not driven by fear. That makes us unpredictable to them. That is how we survive. Daniel looked at his team, pride in his eyes. Humans face challenges calmly. That is our nature. Today we have shown it to the galaxy. Tomorrow we continue to show it with action. We speak with respect, we act with intelligence, and we remain united. That is how Earth endures. Liam Carter smiled slightly. And that is how we will succeed. They may be more powerful, but they cannot predict calm courage. That is uniquely human. The horizon left the neutral station, heading back toward Earth. But the journey was different now. Humans had faced the council and not bent. They had spoken, not shouted. They had resisted, not rushed. And in doing so, they had shown a strength that no fleet, no weapon, and no technology could destroy. Human resilience, intelligence, and unity. Across the ship, crew members felt a quiet pride. Scientists, navigators, and officers all shared the same understanding. Earth would not surrender, and humans would face whatever came next with calm, thoughtful courage. The stars outside seemed less distant now, not because of the alien fleet, but because humans had discovered their own strength. They had met the galaxy's might and had not faltered. They had spoken with calm defiance, showing that even in the vast universe, humans were not to be underestimated. Daniel Moore stood at the command deck once more, looking at the stars. We have taken the first step, he said softly, and we did it without panic. That is the way forward. The Council will test us further, but we are ready. Always ready. Amy Lewis joined him. They will not forget this. Humans are different, calm, intelligent, and united. That is what we have shown. Kevin Harris added, and we are learning every day. We will continue to improve, to prepare, and to adapt. They may be powerful, but they cannot match human ingenuity when guided by calm reason. Sarah Miller smiled. And that is exactly what we need: patience, intelligence, and teamwork. That is more powerful than any weapon. Duh. Liam Carter nodded. Agreed. We face the galaxy not with fear, but with careful strategy. That is how humans endure, how humans survive, and how humans thrive. The Horizon continued its journey back to Earth, carrying the humans who had faced the Council without fear. Calm, steady, and united, they had delivered a message stronger than any weapon. Humans were not weak, they were not naive, and they would not surrender. Across the galaxy, the Council would remember this meeting. The humans had shown something unexpected: calm courage, intelligence, and the ability to face the impossible with dignity. The story of Earth's first contact with the Council had begun, and it would echo through the stars for generations to come. And on Earth, people waited quietly, trusting their leaders, knowing that the first step had been taken, and that humanity's calm defiance had made a mark on the galaxy. After the meeting with the Galactic Council, the humans returned to Earth aboard the Horizon. The Council had not attacked, but their presence weighed heavily on everyone's mind. Daniel Moore gathered his team in the command room. Amy Lewis, Dr. Kevin Harris, Sarah Miller, and Liam Carter sat around the central table, each aware of the challenge ahead. "The Council is powerful," Daniel said calmly, "but they underestimate us. They expect fear, not reason. That is our advantage. They will test us. Our next step is to prove our ability to act wisely and effectively under pressure." Kevin Harris leaned forward, his fingers tapping on the data pad. "I have studied the Council's technology. They rely on overwhelming energy and force, but they are not perfect. There are predictable patterns in their attacks. If we plan carefully, we can counter them without unnecessary risk." Sarah Miller spoke, pointing at a holographic map of a satellite network near Jupiter. "The Council has sent a test. One of our satellites is being targeted. They want to see how we respond. We cannot fail, but we also cannot act recklessly. We need strategy, precision, and calm. We will approach this like everything else: patience first, then action. Every movement calculated, every response measured. That is how humans survive challenges." Amy Lewis began to coordinate the communications. "I will monitor all signals, translate everything, and relay instructions quickly. If we work together, we can turn this test into a demonstration of our capability." "Ah." Daniel smiled slightly. "Good. Let's prepare." The team began their work immediately. Engineers and scientists across Earth were connected through secure channels, sharing data in real time. Drones were activated and positioned around the satellite, while energy shields were brought online. Kevin Harris oversaw the deployment of autonomous defense systems, each designed to act with precision and intelligence. As the test began, the Council sent a small fleet of drones to attack the satellite. Energy beams streaked through space, and alarms flashed across the horizon. But the humans did not panic. Sarah Miller directed the defensive maneuvers. Drones in Sector 4 intercept incoming beams, use evasive patterns, and deflect energy toward asteroids. Liam Carter guided the Horizon carefully through the outer field, positioning it to support the satellites if needed. "Steady, steady. Maintain the shield's strength and angle. Keep the satellite in the protected zone." Kevin Harris monitored the drones, adjusting their algorithms to respond to the Council's attacks. "They are adapting quickly," he said, "but humans adapt faster. The drones will follow the new patterns automatically. From the command deck, Daniel Moore watched calmly as the battle unfolded. Each energy beam, each movement was calculated. Humans had prepared for this. They were not reckless, and they did not panic. Every decision was based on intelligence, experience, and careful observation. Amy Lewis spoke over the intercom. "Captain, the Council is watching. Every move we make is being recorded. They want to see our reactions. Stay calm. Act with precision." The Horizon systems moved like a single organism. Shields expanded and contracted, drones intercepted attacks, and small energy pulses diverted incoming beams toward empty space. Humans had turned the Council's test into a live demonstration of their intelligence and calm under pressure. Sarah Miller smiled slightly. "They will not expect this. Humans do not act rashly. We think ahead, we plan, and we execute carefully. That is our advantage." After several tense minutes, the Council's attacks slowed. The humans had successfully defended the satellite without unnecessary risk or destruction. Kevin Harris reviewed the data. Every attack has been countered. Not a single satellite was damaged. The drones responded perfectly. "We are ready for whatever comes next." Daniel nodded. "This is more than defense. This is proof. Humans can face overwhelming power and respond with intelligence and calm. That is a message no fleet can ignore." Amy Lewis continued monitoring the communications. Slowly, a new message from the Council appeared. Amy translated carefully. "Your performance is unexpected. You act with patience and intelligence. You do not panic. You do not attack recklessly. This is unusual." Daniel responded. "We face challenges with thought, cooperation, and determination. That is the strength of humans. We respect your power, but we will not surrender. This is how we survive, how we endure, and how we protect our world." Sarah Miller leaned back. "They are starting to see humans differently. They expected fear. They expected rash action. Instead, they see calm courage. That is a strength they cannot calculate." Liam Carter added, "And that is exactly what we want them to see. They must learn that humans are unpredictable in their intelligence and unity. That is more powerful than any weapon." Kevin Harris smiled slightly. "We are learning more about their technology every moment. Every attack, every maneuver, every signal. This test has given us insight we can use later." The Council does not fully understand human ingenuity. As the Horizon returned to Earth, the mood aboard the ship was calm but proud. Scientists, officers, and engineers all shared the quiet satisfaction of success. Humans had faced the test without panic. They had shown intelligence, patience, and courage, qualities that no technology alone could match. Back on Earth, people were informed of the successful defense. Civilians cheered quietly, not with reckless celebration, but with pride in their leaders and their people. Schools, cities, and towns all shared the news. Humanity had survived another step in the challenge posed by the Council, and they had done so with calm dignity. Mayor Olivia Grant addressed the public over secure networks. "Today, humanity has shown its strength. Not through fear, not through aggression, but through unity, intelligence, and courage. This is the way we will face the galaxy. Calmly, clearly, and together." Across the world, children listened in schools, families shared the news at home, and scientists continued their work. Every human understood one thing: panic was useless, but calm preparation was powerful. Kevin Harris continued to analyze the data from the test. "Every attack we faced, every signal we monitored, gave us insight. Humans learn quickly. We adapt. That is why we cannot surrender. That is why the Council cannot easily defeat us. Calm intelligence is a weapon humans wield better than any energy beam. Sarah Miller nodded. And they cannot predict us. That is the real advantage. They rely on overwhelming force, but humans rely on thought, observation, and cooperation. That is how we survive when faced with impossible odds. Daniel Moore addressed his team one last time before the horizon landed. This is not the end. The Council will continue to test us. But today, we have shown what humans can do. We do not panic. We do not act recklessly. We face challenges with calm courage and intelligence. That is our message to the galaxy. That is our promise to Earth. Amy Lewis added softly, and they will remember it. Calm courage is not something that can be ignored. Humans have shown that even in the face of immense power, we remain unbroken and intelligent. The horizon touched down on Earth, and the crew disembarked quietly. Scientists, engineers, and leaders all met them with calm pride. The team had not only defended a satellite, but had also shown that humanity could act with intelligence and unity under pressure. Across the planet, people went about their daily lives with renewed confidence. Humans had faced the first true test of the galaxy, and had passed not through weapons alone, but through teamwork, calm, and strategy. They understood now, more than ever, that courage and intelligence could stand against overwhelming odds. Daniel Moore looked at the stars from Earth's command center. "They will test us again," he said quietly. "But we are ready. Not with fear, not with panic, but with patience, intelligence, and calm courage. That is human strength. And we will learn from each test. We will adapt, improve, and grow stronger. They may have power, but humans have something they cannot fully understand: ingenuity guided by calm intelligence." Sarah Miller smiled. "And that is exactly what will allow us to survive and thrive. The Council may be powerful, but they cannot predict humans when we think, plan, and act together." Liam Carter added, "Every challenge is an opportunity. Every test is a lesson. Humans survive because we remain calm, we learn, and we act with purpose. That is what we have shown today." Amy Lewis translated the last Council message carefully. "They acknowledge our performance, but they are cautious. They will observe, and they will test further, but they respect humans' intelligence and calm." Daniel Moore looked at his team with quiet pride. "Then our next step is clear. We continue to face challenges calmly. We continue to show intelligence, patience, and courage. That is how Earth survives. That is how humanity will endure in the galaxy." And so, humans had passed the Council's test, not with aggression or fear, but with calm, precise action, teamwork, and intelligence. Across Earth, people felt a quiet pride. Across the galaxy, the Council had learned something unexpected. Humans were not simple, they were not weak, and they would not surrender. The story of Earth's defiance continued, built not on weapons or raw power, but on patience, strategy, and calm courage. Humans had shown their strength to the universe, and the galaxy was beginning to understand that Earth could not be easily broken. After passing the Council's test, humans returned to Earth with a quiet pride. The horizon landed safely, and the crew disembarked to a calm but celebratory reception. Scientists, engineers, and military leaders were gathered, ready to hear the report. Across Earth, people waited, knowing that the Council's judgment would affect the future. Captain Daniel Moore addressed the team first. "We have shown the galaxy what humans can do. Not with weapons alone, but with intelligence, calm, and cooperation. That is our strength. The Council knows it now, and the universe will begin to see it." Amy Lewis translated all messages and data from the test, showing how humans had defended the satellite without unnecessary destruction. Every move, every calculation, every response showed intelligence and patience. The council is impressed, even if they do not admit it openly. Kevin Harris stepped forward. This is more than just defense. We have learned about their technology, their strategies, and their ways of thinking. That knowledge will guide us in the future. We can adapt, and we can improve. Sarah Miller nodded. And more importantly, they have seen that humans do not panic. That is not weakness. It is a strength. Calm courage can stand against overwhelming force. Daniel Moore smiled faintly. They may be more powerful, but they cannot break human intelligence, teamwork, and perseverance. That is why we cannot surrender. That is why Earth will endure. Across the planet, Mayor Olivia Grant spoke to the people. Today, humanity has proven itself. We have faced the galaxy with courage and wisdom. We have defended our home without panic or recklessness. We continue to be united, intelligent, and calm. That is what makes us strong. Humans began preparing for future encounters with the Council. Engineers and scientists worked on new technologies, improving shields, drones, and communication systems. They were ready for anything the galaxy could send, not with fear, but with calm confidence. Days later, the Council sent a new communication. Amy Lewis translated, "Earth representatives, your performance is noted. Your calm courage and intelligence are unusual. We invite further discussion on the possibility of cooperation, but we will not force submission. You have shown that humans cannot be easily broken." Daniel Moore read the message carefully. "This is progress," he said. "They respect our intelligence. They may not fully understand us yet, but respect is a start. We respond with honesty and calm, as we always do." Amy Lewis prepared the reply. "We are willing to discuss cooperation and mutual understanding. We seek dialogue, not conflict. We respect your knowledge and experience, but we will not surrender. Our home is Earth, and it is for all humans." The Council responded with a series of questions about human values, methods, and abilities. Daniel, Amy, Kevin, Sarah, and Liam worked together to answer each one carefully. They explained how humans solved problems, how they worked together, and how they faced challenges calmly. Sirik, the council leader, listened carefully. "Your species is unusual. You face impossible odds without fear. You act with patience and intelligence. You have a way of thinking that is different from any other species we have met. That is remarkable." Daniel Moore replied calmly, "Humans survive because we think, we cooperate, and we adapt. We do not rely only on strength, weapons, or fear. We use our minds, our hearts, and our unity. That is why we endure. That is why Earth remains free." The Council considered this carefully. Slowly, their tone changed. "Perhaps we have underestimated your species. Perhaps Earth has value not as a subject, but as an ally. We will observe further, and dialogue may continue." Amy translated, and Daniel nodded. "This is an opportunity. We remain calm and honest. That is our way. We do not bluff. We do not threaten. We show our intelligence and courage openly. That is our strength." Back on Earth, the people celebrated quietly, not with reckless noise, but with pride in what had been accomplished. Humanity had faced the galaxy's authority and had not bent. Humans had survived not by destroying, but by acting with calm intelligence and unity. Kevin Harris continued to analyze the data from the Council's tests and communications. "Every lesson we learn strengthens us. We will continue to improve, not to attack, but to prepare. The Council may be powerful, but humans are adaptable. They cannot predict everything we can do," Sarah Miller added, "and that unpredictability is an advantage. They rely on overwhelming force, but humans rely on thought, observation, and collaboration. That is more powerful than any energy weapon. Liam Carter nodded. We have learned from the test, and we have proven our ability. But more importantly, we have shown the universe our values: calm, intelligence, and unity. That is what makes humans unique and strong. Daniel Moore addressed his team once more. We face the galaxy with respect, intelligence, and courage. We do not surrender. We do not panic. We adapt, we learn, and we endure. That is human nature. That is the message we send to the stars. Amy Lewis added softly, and the Council will remember it. Calm courage cannot be ignored. Humans have shown it clearly. We are not weak. We are not naive. We are resilient, intelligent, and united. Across Earth, people work together to improve society and technology. Schools emphasized critical thinking and teamwork. Engineers and scientists collaborated globally. Civilians contributed in small ways, understanding that each person had a role in preparing for the future. Mayor Olivia Grant encouraged cooperation and calm confidence. Humanity faces challenges, but we face them together. Fear is not our way. Intelligence, unity, and courage are our tools. That is why Earth survives. That is why humans endure. The Council continued to communicate with Earth, now with respect and curiosity. They asked for advice, sought cooperation, and observed humans closely. They had expected fear and submission, but had received calm courage and intelligence. Humans were not just surviving. They were teaching the galaxy a new way to face challenges. Daniel Moore reflected on the journey so far. We did not surrender. We did not fight recklessly. We acted with thought, unity, and calm. That is our strength, and the galaxy will learn it. Slowly, we show that humans are not easily broken. We endure because of courage guided by intelligence, and that is more powerful than any weapon. Kevin Harris smiled. We have learned much. We have improved much, and we have shown the Council what humans are capable of. They will think twice before trying to force Earth into submission, Sarah Miller added, and more importantly, they will respect us, not out of fear, but because they see our strength, calm strength, intelligence, patience. That is a force they cannot destroy. Amy Lewis translated the last messages carefully. They acknowledge your abilities. They are beginning to understand humans' unique strengths. That is progress. That is what we hoped for. Liam Carter nodded. And the work continues. Humans prepare, learn, and adapt. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, and every action is guided by calm courage and intelligence. That is how we endure, and that is how we thrive. Daniel Moore looked at Earth from the command center, seeing the lights of cities shining peacefully across the world. Humans face challenges with thought, unity, and calm courage. That is our way. That is how we survive. And that is how we will continue to thrive in the galaxy. The stars above seemed brighter than ever, not because of alien ships, but because humanity had found its own strength. Calm courage, intelligence, and unity shone across the galaxy, showing that humans were a species that could endure any challenge. Across the Council's ships, the aliens spoke quietly among themselves. They had underestimated humans. They had expected fear, weakness, and submission. Instead, they had seen intelligence, patience, and calm courage. Slowly, they began to see humans as something more than a small, weak species. They began to see them as equals in the galaxy, not by power alone, but by the strength of mind and spirit. Back on Earth, the Horizon crew reflected on their journey. "We have survived," Daniel said quietly. "We have shown the galaxy who we are. And we will continue to face the universe with calm, courage, intelligence, and unity. That is humanity's true strength." Amy Lewis smiled. "And they will remember it. Every encounter, every challenge, every test shows the galaxy what humans can do, not with weapons alone, but with calm intelligence and courage." Kevin Harris added, "We will continue to learn, adapt, and improve. That is how humans endure. That is how we survive." Sarah Miller nodded. "And how we thrive. The galaxy may be large, powerful, and dangerous, but humans have something the Council cannot fully measure: ingenuity guided by patience and unity. That is how we face the stars." Liam Carter looked at Daniel. "And that is why Earth will remain free. Not because of fear or aggression, but because humans are intelligent, united, and calm. That is how we endure." Daniel Moore smiled. "And that is how we send a message to the universe. Humans do not surrender. Humans survive. Humans endure. And humans will continue to thrive in the galaxy, with courage, intelligence, and unity as our guiding stars." And so Earth stood firm. The Council respected humans, cautiously but genuinely. Humans had faced the galaxy with calm courage, intelligence, and unity. They had passed tests, defended their home, and shown the universe that surrender was not in their nature. Across the stars, Earth's quiet strength shone, a reminder that humans were not to be underestimated. The story of Earth's calm defiance ended not with destruction or fear, but with hope, respect, and a quiet pride that humanity could face the universe and thrive.